there's a calculator, the Marshall Swift, that all the insurance carriers use, and that's what tells them the value to charge. So every carrier uses the same calculator, and it's based on the type of building you are, if it's a office building or if it's a self-storage, if it's a, where it is, what zip code for material cost and labor cost, how many stories it is, and then it tells the carrier how much to charge. And so they all use the same calculation. So you won't get one carrier's like, I'm going to insure your building for $100 a foot, and no one's like, I'm going to do it for 20. They're all usually within 5% of each other.
Well, who's this Marshall Swift?
Yeah.
And how can we get a hold of them? That seems like the question for us is, if it's that consistent across the board, how does one make a decision in terms of who they want their carrier to be? Who do they want their broker to be? How can somebody in your position add value to the strategic decision-making process that an owner would have if in reality they're all going to go back and say, we're using the Marshall Swift calculator, we're within 5%, there's not a tremendous amount of opportunity for me to move the needle one way or the other? Yeah. That would be my question if I was in that position.
Yeah, good question. So a lot of times the industry treats us like bankers, where I need to go call bank A, B, and C, and they're all going to present their loan option. And we're not bankers. We're negotiators just like you guys. So we represent people in the marketplace. So you don't go pick 3 lawyers to go negotiate your lease or 3 CPAs to negotiate your taxes. You pick one. And insurance should be the same way. You should pick one agent to represent you in the market. Because in self-storage, there's only about 5 carriers to go to.
Is that lower than it used to be a year ago, year and a half ago? That's what I thought,
yeah,
right?
10 years ago, it used to be 20.
Wow.
And now we're down to 5. And those 5, what happens because the insurance is terrible is every owner is saying, agent, please go get me 5 options. Go get me multiple options. So these underwriters that work at the carriers, and people forget that underwriters are real people. You just send it off to your agent, then you get quotes back. You forget that there's people that get your application that spend 4 to 12 hours working up a quote to send it back to you. So these underwriters that are inundated with applications, they'll get 100 applications in a week, but they're only going to bind 5. And so they have to decide, of these 100, what do I work on? And which 5 am I actually going to win? And so that comes to where who's your agent? And so the fact that we do a lot of self-storage, when I call up Casey or Aaron, they know who I am. They know when I'm presenting something that I know what I'm talking about. I'll tell them a situation. I'm telling them what they need to do to win a deal. And so owners need to pick the right agent. And if it's someone who just casually does self-storage, they don't know the market and they don't know the players. But there's a couple agencies like Swingle Collins that specialize in it. And you want to get with one of them, you'll get a better result out of the same carriers than if you go with somebody else.